It's a beautiful spread here, isn't it? It's Naguib Mafouz Cafe.
Yeah, Naguib Mafouz actually is one of my beloved places here, that I always recommend this place for every person, for every tourist, for every Egyptian.
And who was Naguib Mafouz?
Naguib Mafouz actually was a very famous Egyptian who was a
Nobel Prize
winner in 1990s. Actually, he wrote many articles, many novels, many books. Most of his books actually became movies and translated to many languages.
I love the Palace Walk, the trilogy. I've read that one about the families between the wars. Anyway, this lovely gentleman, this very handsome man, is Mohamed Raouf, and he works with Dr. Mark Lehner. He worked with Dr. Richard Redding. He works at the Giza Pyramids, on the settlement, on the Pyramid Workers Village.
Yes.
That's amazing. For how many years have you been working there?
I am Egyptologist since about 15 years. I started my career at Giza Pyramids. I was very lucky at the time because I joined the American mission with Dr. Lehner, and actually he was excavating at the site of the workmen, the settlement of the workmen who built the pyramids. I was very lucky to join the Dr. Richard Redding, the famous geoarchaeologist actually, and he taught me many things, how to know the material of the cultural materials that was discovered from the site.
They're making sense of what these guys ate, contract workers who laid the stones, and what kind of diet they had, right?
An amazing point, by the way. The ancient Egyptian workers actually ate or consumed a large amount of meat.
Yeah, like
and say sheep, goat, and the cattle. So when we work in the site, Richard Reading collected all the samples of animal bones. He sorted it. We worked with. He trained us how to work. We sorted them. Then we analyzed most of these pieces. Actually, what we found is, imagine, most of the pieces was for a young sheep, goat, and the cattle, and most of it were slaughtered in the place. You know,
yep.
And rarely samples of pigs. And Richard Reading.
There was a little bit of pigs, but not a lot.
Yes.
Low pork diet at the pyramids, but high protein because you need protein to move those stones.
For sure.
And this guy is amazing because he's working in the archaeology. It's not just about stones; it's about where they lived, where they slept, where they died, and what they ate.
Sure. I always say the pyramids were built by pure paid Egyptian workers. They were not slaves, not jinni, not aliens, but pure paid Egyptian workers. And this actually proved since 1990 by the excavation that started by Dr. Hawass and Dr. Lehner on the other side. So did the Egyptians or the Egyptian workers ate only meat or protein? No, the staple food of the ancient Egyptians were also bread.
Bread and beer. But I have to ask, Mohamed, one other thing. We were talking about ancient Egypt and the life today in Egypt, and how the ancient Egyptians have inspired people like you, people in Egypt. What do you think, what do you see is the legacy of ancient Egypt for Egyptians today?
Ancient Egypt actually is a live image inside every person, inside every house, in every community. Now, for sudden, if you ask me here, what I wear is a necklace here with the Ankh sign, the symbol of life in ancient Egypt. Lotus flower, Horus eye for protection. Here is the Khidr, the bringing the good luck is here. This is very quick evidence to answer the question. But if you go on the streets, especially in the area around us here, you will see the kids are wearing the pharaoh's nimbus, the scarf behind the ears, the short kilt. The kids actually are wearing garments or clothes decorated with the hair of leaves in there. So when you go to Luxor, you will see the facades of the houses are decorated by scenes similar to the ones inside the king's tombs in the Valley of the Kings.
So they're so proud of their heritage once again in Egypt, which is so great. And thank you very much for talking to me,
You're welcome.
Mohamed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.